A recent Times Siena poll confirmed a popular narrative on the polarization in America. A majority of us believe that our nation is too divided to solve its problems. Now, Lord knows, the recent political violence and incendiary language from the very top punctuates the sense that things are going from bad to much, much worse. I mention all this because I went on a trip that should have been Exhibit A in how the U.S. is irrevocably broken. Now, for the past almost decade, myself and one of my daughters go for a long weekend to catch a college game in a city that we've never been to, where the football is good and there's fun stuff to do. This year, my now 21-year-old kid finishing school in Manhattan, and yours truly headed from the Big Apple to Oxford, Mississippi. Now, I should tell anyone who's never been that Oxford is home to Ole Miss, and it is a fantastic place. The University of Mississippi is a gorgeous campus. The Grove, home to arguably the neatest tailgate scene in the country, has to be seen to be believed, and the town is a postcard to a bygone era. When I mentioned to friends and family where I was headed, I got more than a few curious looks. Some asked me if I lost my mind, that the Deep South didn't exactly love Yankees, and that if you wanted to pick the reddest of red states, you couldn't have done better than the SIP. Well, I'm here to tell you that I'm happy I didn't listen to any of the naysayers. Mind you, they were dead on when it comes to politics. Mississippi voted for Trump by a bigger margin than any other state, and its history when it comes to civil and equal rights is problematic at best. All of that is true. But we didn't head to Oxford for a political debate. We went to have a great time, and a great time was had by all. To a person, every fan, student, alumni, server, and host were gracious and welcoming. When folks learned we weren't just from out of town, but from New York of all places, we were all but adopted. Now, I'm sure you're wondering if politics ever came up, and after a few adult beverages, they most certainly did. Now, let the record show, I made it clear that I'd rather have a root canal than talk about politics, but considering they couldn't have been better hosts, I went along. Needless to say, I was the only guy not a fan of our current president. I heard a few conspiracy theories so batty, I told our new friends with a laugh that I'd be sending them tinfoil hats when I got back up north. And their embrace of alternative facts would have been hysterical if they didn't so fully believe them. For their part, they couldn't believe that I wasn't in lockstep with them and thought that the idea that I subscribed to the New York Times was proof positive that I needed to be committed. But here's the thing. We all had a great time. The co-eds tried to convince my daughter to transfer from her hoity-toity school to the SEC, not happening, and we agreed to get together if, heaven forbid, they headed north of the Mason-Dixie line. My takeaway is that we listen too much to the electeds and the especially media arsonists who want us to believe that the quote-unquote other side hates their country and anyone who votes differently than they do is trouble. It's garbage. Sure, huge policy issues are being decided before our eyes, and I really do believe that our very democracy is being threatened. But I suspect opportunists on Capitol Hill are acting more in self-interest than reflecting the will of their people. Of course, we have a major chasm when it comes to political consensus in America. But we don't hate each other like some with microphones would lead you to believe. And this civil war these frauds promote didn't jibe with the civility that I experienced last weekend in the land of Dixie. So, in closing, I'll just say this: go Ole Miss.